Next at 11, a positive change born out of tragedy. How the memory of a student athlete whose heart stopped on the field is now keeping future generations safe.
Plus, we're looking at some rain in the forecast this weekend. I'm timing it all out for you straight ahead.
What's happening now and what's next? This is the news that matters to you. And it's right here at 5. Michelle Imperato, Jesse Pagan, and First Warning Chief Meteorologist Tony Manalfi. WESH 2 News at 5. Local, live, late breaking.
I heard what appeared to be 4 to 6 cracks.
Gunshots in an Orange County neighborhood leave a 17-year-old dead. What we've uncovered about the home the investigation seems to be centered around.
A family is desperately waiting for answers to help find a woman 3 years after she went missing. Why they've accused the sheriff's office of not doing enough to find her.
2024 could be the last year you roll back the clocks. The new ally Florida leaders have backing their plan to make daylight saving permanent.
And how the memory of a student athlete whose heart stopped on the soccer field is now keeping kids safe today. Now at 11.
Local, live, late breaking. WESH 2 News starts now.
Tonight, crime scene tape and investigators surround an Orange County neighborhood after a 17-year-old was shot and killed. Thank you for watching WESH 2 News at 11. I'm Summer Knowles.
And I'm Jesse Pagan. Deputies found Gabriel Rosario Cortez Thursday night on Chesham Drive off McCullough Road. WESH 2's Haley Crumble home live at the sheriff's office tonight. Haley, not much is known about the teen right now.
Yeah, that's right. We've been talking with the sheriff's office about what happened here. We could tell from being at the scene that much of the investigation was focused on one home on the street. But when we asked the sheriff's office what connection the teen had to the home, if any, they just wouldn't say. They couldn't confirm if he lived in the home or what he was doing there if he didn't. No, the sheriff's office says this all is still very much under investigation. We're going to be staying on top of this. As soon as we have new information, we're going to bring it to you on air and online at WESH.com. Covering Orange County live in Orlando, Haley Crumble home, WESH 2 News.
New at 11, Daytona Beach police gave suspected drug dealers an early wake-up call. SWAT teams searched 2 homes on Ellsworth and Pleasant View yesterday morning. Neighbors say the homes have been problems for a while. We're working to find out if anyone was arrested.
And Justin, at 11, a federal appeals court has now denied TikTok's bid to temporarily block a law that could ban the app. The law goes into effect January 19th, forcing TikTok's Chinese parent company to sell the app to a new non-Chinese owner or be banned in the U.S. TikTok has indicated it will ask the Supreme Court to review this law.
Tuesday will mark 3 years since this woman right there, Paola Miranda Rosa, went missing at Wekiva Springs State Park. This is the last time she was seen. Hikers saw her wading into the water at the park. Her family feels officials didn't do enough to try and find her.
WESH 2's Luana Munoz spoke with her family, who are now sharing a petition to try and get the FBI involved. We did reach out to the Osceola County Sheriff's Office and Orange County Sheriff's Office for comment, but have not yet heard back. New at 11, this is the mother now locked up after going missing with her children from Winter Haven. Police found the family safe in South Bend, Indiana today. The father of the 2 children reported them missing last weekend when he says the mother didn't drop them off at his home. The kids are now in temporary custody at the Indiana Department of Child Services until their father is able to pick them up. And covering Marion County tonight, deputies say a man tried to scam an elderly woman out of $50,000. Investigators say Jian Xiao convinced the woman someone had hacked her accounts and was using her name to purchase child pornography. He instructed her to send $7,300 in cryptocurrency to her, then told her to buy $160,000 in gold. The gold dealer in Jacksonville thought the transaction was suspicious and had deputies meet Xiao when he went to pick it up.
Developing tonight, a 3rd state is now reporting mysterious drones flying overhead. Officials in Connecticut are joining New York and New Jersey in demanding answers from the federal government. The White House National Security Advisor has said there is no evidence that sightings pose a national security or public safety threat. But with more sightings being reported, people are still nervous. Now, the mystery around the drone sightings is leading to other issues and concerns for actual drone pilots who fly for work or fun. People use drones for all sorts of things nowadays, like in real estate, construction, or just photography. A drone instructor in New Jersey says the drones he's spotted and seen videos of have had lights and are following FAA regulations.
That might be why I'm not as concerned, because if I were doing something nefarious, I would not be broadcasting that I'm out here doing this, certainly with lights.
Some of the videos claiming to show drones have actually been confirmed to be planes. The instructor recommends downloading a flight radar to double check if a plane is flying overhead.
New at 11, President-elect Donald Trump is backing a proposal to turn the clocks forward one more time and then keep them there. He calls changing the clocks inconvenient and costly. Now, daylight saving time was first adopted in 1918. That was during World War I. And again in 1942 for the Second World War to conserve energy by then adding more hours of daylight. The Defense Department says it wasn't made permanent until 1966 when Congress passed the Uniform Time Act. The only two states that do not observe daylight saving times are Hawaii and Arizona. Florida Senators Marco Rubio and Rick Scott have been trying to make daylight saving time permanent for years with the Sunshine Protection Act. But even though a lot of people agree, it has been stalled in Congress.
I just feel like once it gets dark at 5:30, it's a little bit depressing.
Keeping the daylight savings will work for everyone.
I feel like change is inevitable. It's kind of cool to change sometimes and get into a new groove.
Health experts say lawmakers have it backwards, though. That standard time we are in right now should actually be made permanent. They say it better aligns with the sun and human biology.
All new at 11, more than 16 people are recovering right now after two airboats crashed in the Everglades. We're working to find out the extent of the injuries. More than 30 people were on board the two when they crashed. FWC is investigating what caused the collision. I want to take a second and say thank you tonight.
Yes, Central Florida, you made our 39th annual Share Your Christmas an incredible success. Your generosity helped us collect close to 65,000 pounds of food and more than $538,000 for Second Harvest Food Bank. Now, that's more than 2.1 million meals for our neighbors right here in Central Florida facing hunger. So thank you so much, Central Florida.
Yeah. All right, it's a program that could save hundreds of student athletes' lives.
And it started right here in Central Florida, how one family is now turning their tragedy into positive change to keep kids safe.
Plus, going hog wild in Orange County, where these wild hogs are tearing up neighborhoods, and what's being done to clear them out. Tony.
And Jess, right now things outside a little windy along the coast with some showers. There's a good reason for that. Take a look at the satellite loop. We've got high pressure to the north, low pressure to the south. That's going to funnel even more rain and more wind and more coastal concerns our way. I'll break that down straight ahead.
Thank you, Central Florida.
We asked you to share your Christmas, and you answered the call to help our neighbors in need.
Central Florida shows up and makes a difference for Share Your Christmas.
From the food brought to our drop-off sites,
to the money raised by our community partners.
Your donations will help provide more than 2 million meals to local families.
We are all so thankful to join together and make a difference in our community.
Thank you for caring.
Thank you for sharing your Christmas.
This is Kellyanne. She's your morning meteorologist and Central Florida's certified most accurate.
No matter the forecast, I've got your day covered.
Start your day with meteorologist Kellyanne Class and WESH 2 First Warning Weather.
This First Warning Weather update is sponsored by attorney Dan Newlin.
Thousands of kids who otherwise seem healthy suffer sudden cardiac arrest every year here in the U.S.
Like Rafe Macaron here, a local nonprofit has been pushing for a bill to help save lives after the Cocoa Beach High School student died during soccer practice. And as WESH 2's Gail Pascal Brown tells us, the bill is just one step away from becoming law.
Orange County is going hog wild. These porky visitors, I'm sorry, I had to, have been causing problems in the community park in Andover Lakes. And as they root around looking for food, they tear stuff up. Neighbors say about 15 hogs are tearing up dirt and sod, leaving quite a mess behind. So far, at least the sod and landscapes at individual homes has not been damaged. The Homeowners Association has hired a trapper, and they're working to move the group of hogs out of the neighborhood.
Be proactive is if we can control that population a little bit, get some of them out of here, we're going to build a 4-foot fence, a wire fence along the property edge here, separating the park from the woods.
Now, this issue is not entirely new. We've seen wild hogs in Oviedo a few weeks ago, for example, and in Sanford around this time last year.
All right, these wild hogs have been in Florida for hundreds of years, though. FWC says Spanish explorer Hernando de Soto might have introduced the first ones as early as 1539, and they can breed pretty fast. Just one pig can give birth twice a year to about 6 piglets a litter. So your herd of 2 can quickly turn into a herd of 14 and just exponentially grow from there. Within 2 years, you could be up to as many as 84 wild hogs, destroying your neighborhood. Lovely.
Oh, man.
All right, moving on. We've gone from frost to mid-70s, upper 70s, and then we're even going to hit 80. It looks like, what, Tuesday?
Yep. And then, look, listen, we need rain. It's been pretty dry here, so I think we're going to have the opportunity this weekend to get some rain along the coast. But I think even next week here in the interior, we'll have a chance to rain Tuesday and Wednesday. And then if you like cooler weather, let's flip out that 7-day here for you. We've got a cooling trend coming. A little bit of everything for everybody there. So 2 seasons, some rain. Maybe some beach time if you're lucky there on Thursday before the next strong front. So we'll break down the whys and the hows here in just a second. Let me take you back to downtown Orlando. We are in the holiday flare, Christmas, green and red up there right now in one of the bank buildings. As you can see, Midtown looking glorious. 61 in Orlando, mid-50s north and west of I-4. You get closer to the coast, no drop off. That's because of the onshore flow there of air coming in off of the Atlantic. In between high pressure in the Carolinas and low pressure, non-tropical, off towards our south and east. The flow around both those weather makers there is directing the air towards the coast and giving us a breeze this evening over towards New Smyrna Beach, along with a few showers. So from time to time overnight tonight through daybreak tomorrow morning, we will be tracking these showers here for you. Eric will give you an update out the door in the morning. Cocoa, Melbourne, right now things are pretty quiet. They did cancel the 8:04 launch tonight because of the weather conditions, and they may once again cancel it tomorrow because if you ask me, I think the seas are going to be a little bit stronger, a little bit rougher, and the booster recovery is a concern there. 8 a.m. out the door, a lot of clouds, maybe 1 or 2 sprinkles there along the coast. A 12-hour forecast here in Orlando, jumping up from the low 60s into the mid 70s by 1 o'clock with a few isolated showers on the eastern side of the peninsula. 54 again out the door in the morning up here in Marion County. 64 New Smyrna Beach, down to St. Cloud 60 over towards Palm Bay. And Melbourne running in the mid-60s. So the tandem of high and low all weekend long, supplying some rain, some wind, many marine conditions that are not in favor of anybody taking a boat out. Offshore seas will be running here 8 to 13 feet tomorrow, 10 to 15 feet, pardon me, there on Sunday, and 8 to 13 again on Monday. Near shore breaking waves right through Tuesday, anywhere from 4 to 8, maybe even 9 feet. And because of that, we have high surf advisories up and down the eastern side of the peninsula, high rip current concerns up and down the entire eastern side of the peninsula, and more importantly up here in Flagler County during the high tide cycles here over the weekend, we could have some coastal beach erosion, so we'll be watching A1A up there in Flagler County. Temperatures here up and down the I-4 corridor from DeBerry to DeLand over towards Celebration in downtown Orlando. We're going to be running in the mid to the upper 70s. On the outskirts, a little bit warmer south and west, a little bit cooler off towards the coast with more showers and more clouds. The attractions tomorrow, we're looking pretty good. 1 or 2 isolated stray showers in the afternoon. No big deal. Don't cancel any plans. We do have a launch slated for 7:59. 60% likelihood that's going to go. For me, the biggest concern is that booster recovery. Seas are getting agitated out there, and they'll stay that way right through the beginning of next week. Now, there's a little bit of a disturbance here that comes up from the south and the east. Nothing tropical. Of course, the waters have cooled into the 60s, but it will likely bring us some rain. And rain is what we need, especially along the eastern side of the peninsula. GFS is going a little bit heavier, considerably heavier than the Europeans. So keep checking back in for more on that. Here's a look now at your updated 7-day forecast. Around 80 through Thursday. Stronger front arrives next Friday, turning cooler then.
WESH 2 Sports is sponsored by Mullinax Ford. Get 1.9% financing for 60 months on over 1,200 new Fords during the year-end sales event at Mullinax. Now, WESH 2 Sports, sponsored by Mullinax Ford.
Could tonight be the night? Hello, everybody. I'm Darren Stoltzfus. As good as the Jones football program has been, they have never won a state title. Tonight, their second time reaching the state championship game. They do so as an undefeated 14-0 team trying to write the perfect ending to a perfect season. Elijah Williams and the Tigers fired up down in Miami, taking on powerhouse program American Heritage. Opening drive, great read from their quarterback, Darian Coleman. Nobody open, so he runs it in himself. Jones takes an early lead. Heritage was without their starting quarterback, but how about the Miami wide receiver commit Malachi Toney finding Jamar Denson all alone? Toney was great at quarterback tonight. 17-10 Patriots at the half, but a 14-point game in the third when Coleman finds future Florida Gator Vernell Brown III to set up a Tiger score. Jones came all the way back and tied it, but Byron Lewis, another future Florida Gator, breaking off a game-sealing score right here late in the fourth quarter. Jones will come up one win shy of a title, 40-31 the final score. Kristen Lago at Pitbull Stadium in Miami with a very disappointed Fighting Tiger squad. Hey, Kristen.
Hey, Darren. Yeah, losing just not something the Fighting Tigers were used to. And so naturally, I saw a lot of tears, a lot of heartbreak written on these faces post-game. But what I also saw was head coach Elijah Williams going up to every single player and telling them not to hang their heads. They put up a fight, and they did all you can ask for as a head coach. They put themselves in a position to win.
We had the momentum shifted to our favor. We got the ball down 6. And we had a costly fumble there. They got the ball short field and scored. So that was really the difference. My kids played lights out. They fought to be resilient all year. We just came up short.
We're a phenomenal team. You know, we work hard. This is what we work for, you know, to be on these stages in the biggest game of the year and hopefully come back with a ring. You know, unfortunately, we didn't do that. But, you know, yeah, that hard work is just a direct reflection of the hard work and the talent that we have in this program.
A positive for the Tigers that will be returning in 2025. They do so with the state championship experience under their belt, still on the hunt for that first ever state title. Live in Miami, Kristen Lago. We'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Kristen. Long day for Kristen because the Cowboys with a K from Kissimmee were in the early game today playing for a 6A state championship. Osceola had not won the state title since 1998. And that is still the case after they ran into an absolute buzzsaw in that squad from West Boca Raton. Cowboys coming into Pitbull Stadium riding a 9-game win streak, but West Boca was on a mission. Second play from scrimmage, see ya. Mason Mallory finds Kyle Andrews. He strides in for the opening score. A little later, Osceola fighting. They give it to UCF commit Tavion Swint. He does muscle his way in for the touchdown. 3-point game at the break, but it was all Bulls after the half. Nothing goes right for Osceola after the break. 26-7 the final score. It is West Boca Raton finishing off their perfect season.
Sometimes the ball bounces your way, sometimes it doesn't. Today it didn't, you know. They did a great job. We already knew coming in they were a great defensive, offensive team. They made some plays and we weren't able to make the plays. So to the victors go the spoils, right?
Not too many people get here to this point. So what I'm saying, so we just soaking that in throughout the week, throughout the whole week to get here, and we just came up short.
So still one more shot at a state title for Central Florida. Lake Mary will play for their first football state championship tomorrow. And, of course, Cocoa finished off a three-peat yesterday. So not all bad news out of Miami. That is it for sports. More news when we come back.
Happy holidays from all of us at WESH 2.
All right, less than 2 weeks to go until Christmas. And if you are running out of places to put that elf on the shelf, take a look. This family put a creative spin on it. Get it? This wacky idea is making the rounds on social media right now. It's complete with one elf taking 2 tickets per ride. Sure, the kids got a kick out of the elf shenanigans here.
That's funny.
I just appreciate the parents putting that out there. Give everybody your ideas. It's great.
I love the creativity though around the elf this time of year. Saw ceiling fan one. So you
got to pull ideas out of anywhere you can.
You got to get better and better. You got to keep.
Like our weather is getting better and better.
It is. Let's take a quick look now at that 7-day forecast. If you like warm weather like I know summer does, you're going to love the next couple of days. A little bit dry, a little bit cooler Thursday and Friday, but you know what? We need some rain.
All right, we'll take it. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We hope you will have a wonderful Friday night and a great weekend.
Bye.